Major updates on Nolan Arenado as well as Alex Bregman's market this offseason and how one is really dictating the other for the Red Sox this offseason. I'm here to break down all of the new reports and information that we have on this episode of Red Sox Digest. But first, before we get to the news and information, remember if you're a part of the 86.5% currently watching this video, not currently subscribed to the channel, and you want to stay up to date on everything Red Sox, scroll down, click the subscribe button. We do appreciate all the love and support. So thank you guys so very much. But now let's get to it and break down the Nolan Arenado updates that we do have as of today, February 7th, as it seems like it's growing closer and closer by the day to Nolan Arenado possibly being a Boston Red Sox going into next season. Now, the reason being for all of this is because of the Alex Bregman market. Now, obviously, the Red Sox still based off of reports, allegedly are still very much involved in the Alex Bregman sweepstakes. The only problem is it looks like Alex Bregman is looking for a multiple-year deal, and multiple years being longer than what the Red Sox are offering. Obviously, we've seen multiple reports in the past up to this point in the offseason that the Red Sox are really not going to budge on the 4-year mark of the contract extension, or excuse me, the contract offer to Alex Bregman. And now, based off this tweet from Bob Nightingale from yesterday, February 6th, where he goes on to say, free agent third baseman Alex Bregman still has no interest in a short-term contract and is seeking a 6 to 7 year deal. So again, Bob Nightingale, a very reliable, incredible reporter, coming out here and giving us this information that we kind of already knew, as again the reports from the beginning of this offseason have been that Alex Bregman has desperately wanted more years as well as close to $200 million for this next contract. And again, the closest thing he has gotten to this contract was the Houston Astros offer at the very beginning of the offseason, which I believe was 6 years for $156 million. Bregman obviously walked away from that, has been testing the free agency market since, but again, has not found himself being very successful based off of the original offer offered by the Houston Astros. So now, what does that mean for the Boston Red Sox and really the rest of this situation? Well, Buster Olney went on to discuss this on his podcast with Jesse Rogers, ESPN, where they discussed all of the possible landing spots for Alex Bregman, where they did reference the amount of years he did or is looking for in the 6 to 7 year range. Now, obviously, Only goes on to say that the Red Sox are literally they're allergic to giving out these long contracts. We've never grown accustomed to them giving these long contracts, and especially as of late, we should not anticipate that Breslow and Sam Kennedy and all these guys are going to come together and be like, yes, give him 7 years, $200 million for Alex Bregman. It's something that seems like a very long shot, especially coming from the Red Sox organization. And because of that, yes, it would be a good landing spot for Alex Bregman to land. Obviously, he could play third, he could play second, as he's versatile in the infield, as well as obviously improving defense at both of those positions at whichever he decides to play, or whichever that the Red Sox decide to put him at. But also the offense productivity would also be a huge piece, as well as obviously being a right-handed bat to balance out this lineup. Now, obviously, Bregman hasn't been the greatest offensive piece, as well as neither has Nolan Arenado, but again, the offense would carry, as again the defense would be so substantial, as well as just having another right-handed bat would do so much good for this Red Sox team. So what does this mean for the Nolan Arenado situation for the Red Sox? Well, with that being said, and it being unlikely that Alex Bregman lands with the Boston Red Sox due to their inability to go out and offer more years on the contract they are currently offering him, Buster Olney also tweeted this on February 5th. Given that Nolan Arenado vetoed the potential trade or deal to the Astros, what some of his friends say is important, they think he would really like the idea of going to the Red Sox. If Boston and the Cardinals work out terms, Arenado's current mindset is, quote, highly, highly motivated, in the end of the quote. So again, Buster Olney doubling down on the idea that Nolan Arenado could end up in Boston, and that it wouldn't even be that bad of an idea for all parties considered. It seems like Nolan is very game. The Red Sox could very much use another right-handed bat, and definitely an improvement defensively at third base, as we know Rafael Devers has been paid for and taken care of for years to come. But again, he is not going to be our third baseman of the future in the sense of defensively, he is not so great at the hot corner. If we can go out and get someone like Nolan Arenado, who is a 100-time Gold Glove at third base, a true vacuum at third. He would greatly improve the defense, as well as also being a right-handed bat who is a pull-heavy hitter. He could live off of hitting off the monster and really just singles and doubles all day long. I think he could really do well in Fenway Park. I think it would be great to see. But again, what is actually going to happen? Well, again, the reason I believe that Nolan Arenado is closer and closer to becoming a Red Sox by the day, here's another example. Well, they went out and signed Michael Hellman from the Minnesota Twins from these, and the St. Louis Cardinals did go out and make this acquisition. He played third as well as left field for the Twins last season, and now the Cardinals go out and acquire him. He is a younger player, again, with a lot of upside, and the reason they go out and get him leaves me to believe that they are looking for a possible piece of depth at the third base position when Nolan possibly departs. Again, it's a long shot. We have not seen anything concrete from either side. And when I say that, I mean the Red Sox organization specifically or the Cardinals organization specifically, in the sense of actual details or word from mouth that saying that we are going to trade him to the Red Sox or vice versa. But again, it gives us a good hint that they could possibly be looking for more depth and possibly a replacement for, again, the multiple-time All-Star, the multiple-time Gold Glove in Nolan Arenado out in St. Louis. Immediately following that trade, John Detman goes on to tweet an article where he goes on to say, with a potential trade of a 10-time Gold Glove Nolan Arenado building momentum, the St. Louis Cardinals bolstered their infield depth by trading for rookie third baseman outfielder Michael Hellman from the Twins, where he would go on to say a few things that are very, very interesting, and this would be the first. Boston would prefer to sign former Astros All-Star Alex Bregman, but it is in a bidding war with at least two other teams for the services of the free agent third baseman, per the source. So not only are the Red Sox in a bidding war, and again, allegedly they are in a bidding war with two other teams, and again, I say allegedly because I believe it could possibly be more than two, and the two teams that are standing out are the Chicago Cubs as well as the Detroit Tigers, and then possibly even the Toronto Blue Jays, I believe, are all very much in the mix for Alex Bregman. But also, not only are they in a bidding war and have other teams competing to go out and land this multiple-time All-Star and versatile infielder in Alex Bregman, but also we are fully aware publicly that they have not upped the amount of years offered via the contract being presented to Alex Bregman, which is, again, a massive flaw, at least based off of what we know from what Bregman is really looking for this offseason. Now, Detman would go on to continue to say in that article, one player the Cardinals have discussed as a potential return for Arenado per a source is slugging first baseman Blaze Jordan, the number 22 prospect in the Red Sox system. Cardinals front office advisor Chaim Bloom, who has been named the club's president of baseball operations in 2026 upon the retirement of John Mazalink, I butchered that, I apologize, with the chief baseball officer for baseball from 2020 to 2023, and has a vast knowledge of the Red Sox farm system. So again, seems like he has some credibility when it comes to understanding what the Red Sox farm system has really looked like for a handful of years now. And again, Blaze Jordan, the 11th ranked prospect in the Red Sox farm system specifically. And if we look at the overall farm system or the overall projections and really the rankings for these prospects, Blaze Jordan in the first baseman filtered category, if you will. So we're just looking at first baseman here. He ranks 7th. He also plays third base. And again, there is a high potential for the power to really come through and pop for Blaze Jordan later down the line. It's going to be interesting. Can't wait to see how it all plays out. But again, Bregman, Arenado, two very, very possible options for this Red Sox organization to go out and acquire to possibly be the third baseman of the future for this Red Sox team. But again, if you do go out and get Bregman compared to Arenado, you have the versatility to put him at second base as well as third, really open up the defensive versatility, as well as also adding that right-handed bat. For Arenado, you would only assume him to play first or third base, preferably third, as he's made a career there. Again, a 10-time Gold Glove at third. He is legitimately a vacuum, one of the best defensive third basemen to ever live. I know that may seem crazy, but again, he's on a very small list of guys that have those defensive capabilities. And again, he does have, there's pros and there's cons to both of these players. Let me know down below which one would you rather have going forward for the Red Sox. And again, I will see you guys on the next episode of Red Sox Digest.